kitted out in Fourth Wing kit today, and I don't know why, because I didn't read Fourth Wing this month. Hey guys, so it's that time of the month again where we get the wrap up, and this time it's on time. I know, well done me, well done me. But if you weren't here last month, I'm going to do exactly what I did in January. I'm just going to give you all the books I read, and there aren't as many as there were last month, so I can go into a slight bit more detail with each and every one of them this time. There are some books that are part of series in this, and I'm one of those readers that can start a series and not finish it immediately. I never said I was normal, so let's get started. Fight by Sloane St. James. Well, now I'm attracted to firefighters. There are worse things to happen, I suppose. I'm not going to admit how long this has been on my physical TBR. It is simply not happening. This is a realistic example of when two people come together and they listen to the opinions of others and they don't talk to each other. Wait, is this a section of my autobiography? You've got our FMC who's running away from her past. That unravels as the story unfolds. And our MMC does what any mature man would do once he finds out that his fiancée is cheating on him. He shags everything in sight. He becomes a playboy until, of course, he meets our FMC because she's different to all the rest. I had an okay time reading this. The romance is the plot. I feel as though I would have had a better time though if there would have been a bit more plot to go along with the romance, but that's me. Honor by Danielle Becker. I was enjoying myself, and don't get me wrong, Xandon can get it anytime. However, I had a problem with the timeline of this. It's been less than a year since the passing of our FMC's husband, and the way it was described how much she loved her husband, it felt like she fell too quickly. Regardless, I kept reading, and the friendship with the ladies in this is spectacular. The kids were great, and I'm not even going to lie, there was a scene in this where the eldest child is pouring out all of his stress and his pent-up emotion that he's had since the passing of his father, and just a single tear tracked down my cheek. I know, I'm not as dead inside as people think I am. I know that that might contradict the rating that I gave this, but I just couldn't get over the timeline. If we had had a few more years in between, then probably would have enjoyed this more. I started this Rina-verse what feels as though it was 8 billion years ago. So I read Ruthless Empire by Rina. FMC's mum marries our FMC's dad. Our FMC is the queen bee, the bully of the school, and our MMC is the captain of the football team. Ah, the classic, the narcissist and the bully. Someone has been sending weird messages to our FMC since she was a child, and you're led to believe it's one person, when in fact it's a completely different one. This, personally, was not my favourite book of the series. The best bit for me was reading about little Eli and baby Ava. If you have read God of War, you know who I'm talking about. And that man is obsessed with Ava when they are adults. And he is 6 when that obsession starts. 6! I need someone obsessed with me like that. It would appear the obsession trait is hereditary because Daddy Jonathan is obsessed with his FMC when she is 7 years old. Now hold your horses, nothing happens between them until she is 27. But wait, Aiden, his son, Eli's father, is 20 at the end of his books, meaning his mum would have had to be 7. That's illegal. You would be correct, my friends. Our FMC, spoiler alert, is actually his dead wife's little sister. Dun dun dun. Yeah, got you there, didn't I? Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn by J Maas. I can't go into too much detail because if you aren't aware, these are direct continuations from Queen of Shadows. I chose to do the tandem read genuinely because I have been reading this series since November And as much as I don't want it to be done, I needed it to be over. Spoiler, if you have not read these books, please go now. But my favourite part was, where's my wife? And my wife! I repeat, my wife! I also did finish Kingdom of Ash. I will never be the same. My favourite part of the whole of Kingdom of Ash, and yes, this is my favourite part, spoiler, please go now, please just move on to the next book, is the character development we got with Aedion. I've been waiting for him to become the man I knew he could be through the entire series since the moment we met him. This book really explores that final arc of his character, whilst also giving one of the female main characters her opportunity to just tell him how it is. I would bow down to that woman if she was in front of me right now. Another favourite part of mine was around about the 43% mark, and I had been updating my Goodreads whilst I was progressing through this book, and my note when I got to that point was just, Mummy and Daddy are fighting. This book had the most beautiful ending, and I'm praying we don't get another one because I fear it would ruin it. Sap and Secrets by Daphne Elliot. During my tandem read, I needed something that just didn't require a lot of brain power. I didn't have to think about all of these characters and all of these stories. And I saw this pop up on Tiffany's Instagram. And so I took the recommendation because it sounded like just the thing I needed. Basic premise is these two have a one-night stand. They decide not to exchange phone numbers and proceed not to speak to each other for the next 9 months. However, that one night created a baby that neither of them knew about. She's a black cat, he's a golden retriever, and of course they fall in love. But there is this side plot of this mystery of things happening in their town, which was very intriguing. You don't get the scene of them being together for that one night stand, and it is a slow burn because their first kiss is at the 60% mark. I'm going to butcher this last name. Painted Scars by Neva Altaj. I can't pronounce it. Painted Scars by Neva Altaj. I'm so sorry, I can't pronounce the name. I'm not illiterate, I promise. I chose this genuinely because I couldn't handle the emotions that I was exuding from reading Kingdom of Ash. Was this insta-love? Yes. Was it predictable? Yes. Did it tickle my clit? Oh, absolutely. He's the Becker of the Russian mafia in Chicago and is also trying to find out who put him in a wheelchair. The older families are getting a bit on his back, saying he needs to marry, so he decides he's gonna get married, but that bride is going to be in name only. But in front of the rest of the world, that particular person is going to have to play the role of his wife to its entirety. And who better to pick than a woman whose father owes the Russian mafia $3 million. And instead of them killing him, he agrees to sell his daughter to the mafia. Yay! The last 3 books in the New York Ruthless series by Sadie Kincaid. Ryan Retribution, Ryan Reign, and Ryan Renewal. This is a 6-book completed series, and it does follow the same group of people, so I can't give any details as it would spoil the entire series. It's a reverse harem, but very quickly, sidebar. In my head, a reverse harem is where we have 3 or more MMCs who do not cross swords, but in a Why Choose, they do cross swords. Am I right or am I wrong? Let me know in the comments. We have Jesse, Shane, Connor, Liam, and Mikey. All 4 men are brothers, and there's no sword crossing in this, so that it's not taboo. Jessie works for the Russian mafia as a hacker, and she has her sights set on one thing: finding the man who killed her family. In comes storming in the Irish mafia, who have come to kill the head of the Russian mafia and his entire family. So she doesn't die alongside all of these people. She presents them with an opportunity. Hire her to be their hacker. To which they agree, but they don't trust her. And Shane has a gut feeling that she's hiding something. But is he right or is he wrong? You'll have to read to find out. My final final book is The Crimson Moth. Now, it is taking immense self-control to not go into a full-blown essay on my issues with this. Note, I said my issues. This was one of my book club's picks for the month, so my ladies are aware of the hurdles I faced. However, at times, this was enjoyable. This was on a downward spiral for me until we got to near the end and a certain character popped their clogs. That was actually the best part of the book. I am going to read The Rebel Witch, which follows on directly from the cliffhanger, only because I'm genuinely curious how we get to happily ever after, because my man, my MMC, he hates her, proclaims he's going to kill her. I'm probably not going to make it an immediate thing, but I'll get to it at some point. All things considered, I think this month to date has actually been my slowest reading month, and I've been reading for 2 years, and I'm happy about that. I know, who knew? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you for March's wrap up. Bye!